Welcome to the Divine Connection Podcast. I'm your host, Cristina Aroche, and together we are walking the path of discovering your true self and the alignment with your soul. Through these conversations, you will experience a deeper level of connection with yourself and the universe, and most importantly, you will trust in your spiritual journey ahead. Let's begin. Hello, and welcome to another episode of the Divine Connection Podcast. Today, we are diving into a conversation all around becoming a healer and a divine channel. I'm so excited for this conversation today, which was inspired by a question that was submitted. And so the question says, I would like to know how to best channel our guides and angels. I actually received messages from them beyond angel numbers. I would like to know the practices to do to get to a point where I can be like you. I can actually hear them very well, like what you did in our reading. Thank you so much for your help. I love this question so much, and I'm so excited to talk about this. I also have something really special to share with you all at the end of this episode, so make sure you stay tuned until the end. I'm going to share something really exciting, a really special announcement. So let's dive in. How to become a healer, how to become a divine channel, how to really open up your connection and be able to channel your guides, channel the archangels, channel divine beings of light and love. And I'll start off by first of all saying that I feel like there's not one single best way when it comes to our spiritual connection. And the reason is because it's going to look different for each person. And even though there's definitely similarities in terms of how things show up for people or the way in which we receive information, the biggest secret to all of this is that you are becoming aware, you are developing the deep spiritual relationship within yourself, because it's your own self that you have to trust. It's your own self that you have to get to know. It's about getting to know yourself on this deeper level as a healer, as a channel. And so the first thing, actually, before anything else, it's this acceptance that that's who you are, that you are a spiritual being, and that you have a spiritual connection, and that you get to be a channel for this divine energy, for this divine information, and to understand that this is part of your evolution, it's part of your journey. And to also know that there's a purpose behind this, that there's a bigger reason as to why these gifts and these abilities are making themselves known to you now, and that there's a bigger purpose behind you utilizing them for yourself, for your career, your work, for the people around you, whatever it is that's going to be unique to each person. And that's the first place to start, is this acceptance that this is a part of who I am. And so now that I know that this is who I am, I'm going to start to get to know myself on this level. Who am I as a divine channel? Who am I as a healer? So that's the first place where I want you to start. And this is for everyone. That's something that you can even journal on if you feel called to do that, is to understand that you have a unique relationship with the divine. You have a unique way in terms of how channeling and how the energy flows through you. And so you have to get to know yourself. This is one of the biggest mistakes that I made at the very beginning of my journey, is I was trying to be like other people. I thought, oh, I have to be like her, like that channel, or like that healer. And that actually wasn't it. It was about discovering my own unique way and knowing who I am, and then embarking on that journey of really leaning into the trust and the knowledge that my divine being already holds. So that's the very first thing. Now, aside from that, the first step that you want to take is to look at which ability is the strongest for you at this time, which, to the person who submitted this question, it sounds like your clairaudience is the strongest, that you can hear the angels very well. So if that's the case, then that's where I would start for you specifically. But for anyone listening in, the first thing that you want to determine is which one is your strongest ability. And by ability, I mean your clairs, which is clairaudience, clairvoyance, clairsentience, and claircognizance. And so these are all the different ways in which we can receive spiritual information. It's kind of like filters, how it comes in, how we receive it, and knowing that we then get to do something with that information that's received in through these different ways. And so that's the first step here, is that you want to understand, okay, which one is my strongest ability? And if you're not sure, you can just kind of reflect back on when you're doing guided meditations or meditations on your own, when you are tuning in to spirit, when you are asking for support. How do you perceive the angels, or how does that make itself known to you most often? So is it through your mind's eye, you see visions, or do you have more of like a feeling sense and you get chills, or you feel something within one of your chakras, within parts of your body? So that's what you want to just become aware of. Like, oh yeah, I often feel things in my heart space, or I often feel things like tingles all over my arms when I connect, or whatever. So that's the first thing that you want to identify, is which one is your strongest ability. And then from there, what you're going to do is practice connecting with the angels, practice connecting with the divine, and utilizing your strongest clair as your kind of like base point. It's kind of like your foundational point. It's the point that you're going to use in reference to how things come to you as you develop your other clairs. This is something that I teach within, I have a whole course called Developing the Clairs, which goes into all of this information. But that's the first step here, is understanding which one is your strongest one, and then beginning to practice connecting with the angels and beginning to practice tuning into them using your strongest ability as the foundation, as the base, and then knowing that your other clairs and your other abilities will open up as you are using your strongest one, which I know sounds counterintuitive, but it truly is how it works. And I know this because I've had hundreds of students go through this kind of work and training them. And I can't even tell you how many times I've heard from people like, oh my gosh, like I'm starting to see things when they used to only feel it. Or, oh my gosh, I'm starting to hear things when they only used to see it. So it's really magical how that works. Now, the other thing that I want to share when it comes to practicing, being a channel, and specifically being a channel for healing energy. So that's another side of it. There's a side of it where we're receiving guidance, we are receiving information, we have an intuitive knowing. But then the other part of it is actually being a channel for healing energy. So to support yourself or other people who might benefit from energetic healing, spiritual healing, understanding things on this deeper level, subconscious healing, all of those things. There's two key things that I want you to know, two most important parts around that whole uh, part of this whole entire thing, which is, it kind of goes back to what I said before. But the first one is that you have to trust and believe that you're able to do this. You have to trust and believe that if you are interested in energy healing, if you're interested in being able to connect and tune in to the divine, to the angels, to your guides in a very clear way, that there is a bigger reason behind it and there's a bigger purpose behind it. And so we have to give ourselves to that bigger purpose or that bigger mission. Even if we don't know exactly what it is yet, we have to understand and come to an awareness that there's a bigger reason why this is coming into my perspective, into my awareness, why I'm feeling drawn to this. And so we have to trust and believe that we are able to do this. Like, you have to trust and believe in yourself. That's the number one thing here. And then as you continue on to, develop that sense of trust and belief in yourself and knowing that there's a greater purpose behind it, the other part of this is to allow yourself to be guided, and also kind of leaning in and surrendering into, where are you being led? Who are you being led to serve. And it might be just, your best friend, or it might be your mom or your sister or whoever. It might be a stranger from an online community space that you have met. I have my own online community where people meet and have a really beautiful space to interact with each other, people who are following the spiritual journey. And so, no matter who it is, one of the most important things and one of the most important aspects around this part in the development is that we have to share it with other people. Over the years, and I didn't used to teach this part, but over the years, I've noticed and I've recognized and I've really come into this very deep conclusion, we'll call it, that in order to fully develop and blossom into our gifts, we have to share it with other people. If we are too afraid to share it with other people and we are just like hiding and are just like, well, I'm just going to practice with myself until I get better. And then when I get better, then I'm going to do it with other people. That's the mistake. The divine is like, no, you have these gifts and these abilities because you're meant to share with other people. And as you share with other people, it's going to get stronger and better and develop even more. But we're too afraid of that. And so we hold ourselves back. And so then we feel like we're stuck. And then we feel like we're not moving forward. And so that's the other thing here, is that as you develop this deep sense of confidence and trust and belief in yourself, you also have to put yourself out there. And again, it doesn't have to be putting yourself out there in front of thousands of people. It's something simple. Go to a trusted source, someone who you trust, someone who you feel safe with. But finding that safe space and that safe person that you can talk to and that you can say, hey, listen, I'm practicing my gifts and my abilities. Can I support you? Would you like to be supported through some energy healing work or through some channeling? Can I share a message with you? And then practicing your abilities by tuning in and delivering whatever message or doing whatever energy healing for that person is going to 10x, maybe even 100x your development. And that's something that I have just simply observed and learned over the years. I've been doing this work for over 7 years, and I've been mentoring other people in this, slightly less than that, but for a long time too. And so that's my number one thing here. And that's what's most important for you as you continue to develop, as you continue to grow, as you continue to expand into your gifts and into your purpose. It's understanding that it's not just for you. You have these gifts and these abilities because they're meant to be shared and they're meant to support the collective on some way, in some level. And that's up to you to discover that, how exactly that's meant to be, how that looks. Maybe it's that tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, millions of people. Maybe it's the people in your local community, a few, tens or a few hundred people. The number isn't as, doesn't matter as much. It's more so, where were you placed? Where did God place you to be of service? And knowing that you have these gifts and these abilities to be of service, and then utilizing that to be of service. So that's the biggest thing here. Okay. So I would love to hear from you in the comments, or if you're listening to this on a podcast platform, then please come on Instagram, send me a DM. I want to hear from you how this landed with you and where you're at on your journey in developing your abilities, your channel, your work as a healer. Let me know. I want to hear from you. Now, the other part of this that I'm so excited to share, it's time for my announcement, is that I am officially opening up the doors to the Healer program. Yes! This is everything combined into a full-fledged program where not only are we focusing on the development of your skills and abilities, your, like what I said earlier, the clairs, and your channeling and connecting with the angels, how you work with energy, understanding the techniques for energy healing, being able to do spiritual journeys, all sorts of things. Aside from the actual skills and practices, this is also the other half of it is understanding who you are specifically as a healer, your unique mission, your unique purpose, and how you are meant to apply those skills in combination with your gifts, in combination with why you're here, why you were chosen to be here and where you at right now, and why you're here, what your purpose is as a healer. It combines all of that. When it comes to understanding your unique gifts, this is related to your healer archetype, which I have a quiz. I'm going to link this in the show notes. I have a quiz where you can learn more about your healer archetype. If you have not done that quiz yet, go check it out. And then it's related to how you're meant to deliver the healing, the transmutation of energy into the world. So gifts is different than abilities. Abilities is how we receive. It's the channeling, it's the clairs. Those are our abilities. Those are skills that can be learned. Gifts is how you deliver it. Is it through your voice? Is it through how you create art, create music? Like, what is the gift? What is the way in which you deliver? Is it the way you hold space? Is it your coaching? Is it your guidance? Is it your teaching? Whatever it is. And so your gifts and your abilities combine together to fulfill the greater divine mission as a healer that you are here to fulfill. And so the healer program takes you through all of this. It's a 4-month program. And I'm so excited to open up the door. This is traditionally, if you've been following me for a long time, this is what I used to call the Angelic Healer Certification Program. But that became a mouthful and I wanted to simplify it. So now it's the healer program, but it is foundationally based on the angels supporting you. So channeling with the angels, understanding how to work with the angels, being attuned to angelic healing frequencies, all of that stuff. And then we go beyond. There's a lot of different parts to it, so I'm not going to explain it all here. You can go check it out on the actual website. I'm going to link the healer program below in the show notes, so you can go check out all the details. I don't want to bog you down with the details. I want you to know what the actual outcome is. The outcome is that you're not only going to have the skills and the knowledge and the experience of what it means to be working with the angels and channeling and developing your clairs and all that, but really you're going to have a clear pathway of knowing exactly who you are and how you're meant to make change in the world and how you are here to bring these gifts in and benefit other people through this work, through the connection to spirit, and understanding that you are here bringing through the energy of divine light, the energy of divine love through who you are. And so not only is this a development in terms of your abilities, your skills, and your knowledge, clarity, but it also is a development of your own self. Your own energy, your own frequency, your own vibration is going to change as a result of this program. Not only because you're going to be applying the work that we're doing in the program to your own self, but also because your perspectives are going to change. Your awareness is going to change. How you view yourself is going to change. This is especially going to be important for those of you, which I feel like is a lot of people who are afraid of being seen for who you truly are afraid of putting yourself out there as a healer or as a spiritual channel, afraid of judgment. Like, I don't blame you. Like, it is something that is not quote unquote normal in our everyday world. And so this is the program where you learn how to navigate those kinds of situations and you learn how to show up fully as your authentic self so that you can live freely as your true self. And the freedom that we get to experience by being our truest self is priceless. And so that's what I want to bring to you through this program. It's this experience where you are removing any layers of a mask or whatever you've been using to hide yourself and just fully being you and being in your light and being in your truth and saying, this is who I am. This is who I am. And I'm not ashamed and I'm not afraid. And I'm ready to help and I'm ready to support and I'm ready to serve. And this is how I serve. And I'm so confident in my gifts. And this is who I am. And showing up in that and really owning that. That's my promise to you through this program. And I'm so, so, so excited to finally have the doors open for this. It is the next iteration of the program. So I've been teaching this program for, gosh, how long has it been? Like 5 years now. 5 years I've been teaching some version of the healer program. Like I said, it used to be called the Angelic Healer Certification Program. And it has developed, it has changed, it has grown over the years. And now it's this next iteration where we're going to be bringing in the archetypes as well, which I have not done in the past, and focusing on combining the two things of understanding your unique gifts and your unique purpose as a healer, what that actually looks like, combined with the actual skill development, the development of your abilities and your clairs and all of that. So all of the details are going to be linked for you. So go check that out. A couple of things for you to know regarding the program is that the doors are closing on June 25th. And right now, depending on when you're listening to this, but hopefully it's shortly after this episode has been published, there is an opportunity for early bird right now. So if you qualify for early bird, you will see it on the website. It's going to be very clearly marked for you that you are during the early bird period. You do not want to miss this chance to come in and be a part of the early bird special, the bonuses that are available. I'm so, so excited. So go check that out. And regardless, if you missed that, come join me anyways, because this is something that you do not want to miss. It is a beautiful community of people who come together to develop themselves, their work, their career, and who they are as they show up in the world as healers. And I'm so thrilled and so excited to invite you into this program. So that is my big announcement. Yay! All of the details for the healer program can be found in the show notes below this episode. I also have the healer archetype quiz that you can go check out if you have not done that yet. So I will link to that as well. And if you have any questions about the program at all, please feel free to reach out to me. You can reach out through the contact form on my website, or you can message me directly on Instagram. And that is pretty much it. So I'm so excited for this. I love this question so much. Thank you for submitting this question. And I'm sending you all so much love. Enjoy the rest of your day, and I will see you in the next episode. Bye. Thank you once again for tuning in. Don't forget to subscribe and leave a review. And if you want to learn more about the Divine Connection podcast, you can go to CristinaAroche.com/podcast and learn about how you can be featured on the show.